Hey guys, welcome to the Narrow Path Online. My name's Nick. I'm from Melbourne in Australia and currently 42. So I guess the purpose of this page is just to, really to seek truth. You know, there's so much information out there. Things are convincing. Just what's going on in planet Earth. You know, we can see something's kicking off and everyone's got a theory and, you know, they seem pretty good, but they're all sort of conflicting. And at the end of the day, by my personal experience, I believe in God and that Christ is God. And even that, further still, trying to seek the truth of that, even within the church, it's very conflicting. And when you compare it, I guess, to the Bible, it doesn't really marry up, you know. And well, the Bible itself doesn't really marry up. When you read it in Hebrew and Greek, you know, there's words that have different meanings, you know. The Latin English just wrecks it really and just dumbs it down, you know. And it really shows when you look into the Hebrew, and well, that's all I've been really studying is sort of the Old Testament writings. When you look into it, you can really see that it's divinely written. You know, every word is specifically put in place, and when you look into that, you can kind of see the picture. You know, and God's always the same. Literally, you know, he's always the same. His agenda is always the same. But the so-called Christian church, they're preaching a different Jesus to the one I'm reading in the Old Testament, you know, or whatever you want to call him, Yeshua, Joshua, you know, his name is the character of God at the end of the day. So, but I'm not going to get into that. So I guess, you know, this is about sharing that journey of finding truth about all these different things. Personally, I was never really looking for God. If anything, my life was handed to Satan due to my circumstances of my upbringing, which led me to life of crime, drugs, prison, seeing a lot of things in the spirit realm, you know, pretty out there person. So I guess God had to be out there with me, you know. And I tried going to church and I'd done all that sort of stuff, but it felt like what I was experiencing and had experienced in the personal relationship with God was conflicting with the church, you know. And I put my trust in these people because I thought, well, these people know better, you know, they're a better example compared to me, you know. But it just led to confusion and you know, I was basically on a roller coaster up and down, never really healed. I wasn't free. God's word's meant to set us free. It's meant to bring power in your life, you know, and I wasn't really saying that, you know, like, I don't know. When I talk to mates and stuff, they see the church really overall as a joke, you know, like, and don't get me wrong, there's sincere people and stuff in there, but God's really been put in a box, and it don't look like the same God these days as, you know, as it was in the past, you know, like. And something that I've found is that there is a lot of writings written by the apostles and their disciples that haven't been included in the canon of the current Bible, but they didn't have the Bible back then. They just passed these letters around. So it's a real shame that there's hundreds of these letters that I've found and compiled. And I will be going through them and basically just going through the journey of discovering what truth is. You know, I want to know the truth. You know, I want to know God and what's reality of life. You know, like. But first, before I guess I go through that process with you guys and share that, I'm just gonna basically backdate and go through how my life was, you know, going through where I grew up, and I'll bring the camera along, take you to different locations where I grew up, what I experienced there, you know, and I guess that life of drugs and crime, you know, and how God came in the picture. And even though I tried running for years afterwards, I should have died 100 times over, but you know, here I am. And really in the past 2 years things have really settled down. I'm in a new place, you know, a new place of discovery, and I don't know what the future is. So I guess if I can be saved, if someone like me can end up, I guess, in spiritual light, which is my goal, you know, there's hope for anyone, you know. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that they're inside, you're not really getting answers and walking in unison with God, you know, but you have people, pastors, teachers, preachers, whatever, basically patting you on the back that you're alright where you're at, you know. That's why I stopped going to church, because I'm like, well, if I want to live in sin and get a pat on the back for it, I'll go to church, you know, but it didn't sit right with me. There it is anyway, that's kicking off. I'm just going to share what's going on with me, what's happening in my life, what's happened in my life. Hope it encourages you guys to seek truth, because if you seek truth, you will find it. And that's a promise we have, you know. So basically I'm laying down my life, sacrificing it. My life sucked anyway. I was in so much pain and misery before. I don't want to be cast out in darkness at the end of the day for it, you know. So I may as well suffer now and end up in the light. That's the hope, that's the goal. I guess I do it for myself, of course, but I'm really doing it because I've got a beautiful family, beautiful kids, you know, and I don't want them to miss out. And obviously the choice is theirs, like it is everyone else. But this is my example, I guess. So here we go, eh?